Hello and welcome to Dr. GMAT, your guide to scoring 700 plus on this exam. Today we will cover basic probability, which is a 5-part series. Um, let's take a quick look at the at what probability is, and then we'll dig deeper into it. Um, Most of you, I assume, would know, and if not, then um, now you will know that probability is basically likely likelihood of something to happen or not to happen. Um, let's say there's 40% chance of rain today. That's 40% probability. So that's basically the concept. Um, in this series, I will try to go from basic concepts of simple probability all the way to conditional probability. If you want to score high on this exam, you want to make sure that you have aced all these areas, um, among other math sections like sequences and combinations and permutations. So let's see what simple probability is. Basically, it's number of favorable outcomes, as the formula says here on the screen, divided by number of possible or total outcomes. So let's say if you have 6 things, and you want to choose two red things out of 6 things which are um, all red or blue or whatnot. So your probability of choosing 2 red things is 2 by 6. Um, so that's the very basic concept. I know it's very simple, but you have to know this in order to move on. So let's take a look at a couple of examples. Here I have a card that I want to draw um, from a deck of cards, and it has to be an ace. Now we know that there are 4 aces in a deck, and total number of cards is 52. So again, going back to our formula that we just looked at, we know number of favorable outcomes in this case is 4 aces. Total outcomes is 52. So coming back here, you can see the answer is 4 divided by 52, or 1 over 13. So very basic example. Let's look at another one here. What is the probability when a pair of 6-sided dice are thrown and the sum of the and sum of numbers equals 5? We know when you throw in a single dice you have 6 outcomes, 1 through 6. But here we have 2 different dices. Both are 6-sided, as they normally are. So in this case, what happens is the total number of outcomes basically is multiplied 6 by 6. That's why you have 36 outcomes altogether, because here you're dealing with 2 different dices. And as I have said in my solution here, that if one of the dice is when rolled is 1, then there are 6 possibilities for the other die still, right? Because I haven't rolled it yet, or even when I do, there's still 6 possibilities. And same is true when if I roll a 2, and the same is true if I roll 3, 4, or 5. So here, if I was to go ahead and list all the outcomes uh, as I've listed them here, there will be 36 outcomes. So that's the list of. I mean, you can list them out, but uh, the easiest way here would be just to multiply total outcomes of the first roll and total outcomes of the second roll, which is 6 into 6, 36. And now let's look at those outcomes which sum up to 5. So here I can, as you can see, that I have listed all the outcomes: 1 and 4, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 3 and 2. which will each sum up to 5. So here I can see that there are a total of 4 outcomes which add up to 5. Total number of outcomes that I have of these two rolls is 36. So again, going back to my formula, which is number of favorable outcomes divided by number of possible outcomes. So this becomes 4 over 36, which is 1 over 9. Pretty basic stuff. Let's look at another example here. Excuse me. What is the probability when a pair of 6-sided dice are thrown? The sum of the number equals 12. We already know the total number of outcomes from our previous example is 36. We have 2 dice. We want to roll them twice. So total number of outcomes 36. And then since there's only one outcome here, if I was to list it, how many outcomes can you think of that will add up to 12? Basically, there's only one. If you were to roll 6 in your first outcome and roll a 6 in your second outcome, only that single outcome will give you a sum of 12. So there's basically only one combination here. So your probability here becomes 1 over 36. I hope this is something that you can grasp onto pretty easily, because this is the basis of probability. In my next series, we'll dig deeper. Next screencast, we'll dig deeper into probability. On GMAT, the probability questions are becoming more common, and they come within. There's no set criteria, but mostly those people who are doing well are more likely to see it. So if you want to score high, you want to score, excuse me about that, if you want to score 700 plus on this test, then you want to make sure that you ace this area. Again, as I always say in my screencasts, that identify your weak areas. Only way to crack quant section is to identify your weak areas, practice, and keep identifying your weak spots and keep practicing, and that's how you will get a good score. And do not listen to people who are telling you techniques to choose C or choose D when you're not sure about what the answer would be. If you really are serious about this stuff and want to score high, you have to practice. Okay, you have to know your stuff. And again, I will recommend that you make sure that you go through 11th edition official guide, the official quant guide, and my math class. And also I have GMAT math tutorials. In this series, I will have 5 covering only probability. So if you stick to that, practice, and practice, I'm sure you will score a 51 in the quant section. Again, visit my site. There will be more lessons coming up. www.gmat.com. The next lesson in the series is probability of multiple events. A very key topic. Most likely you will see something from this area and on the exam. Basic probability is only to clear your concepts. You will use it, but will not be primary focus of a probability question in the exam. So